Okay, so level 2's a little bit more complicated based on the side that you're given. But we're going to attack it the same way that we did level 1's, where we redraw the triangle and set up your similar triangles. So let's take a look at example 1. So we want to find the missing side lengths. Again, I've got 2 congruent sides, so that makes these angles 45 to be an isosceles triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and redraw an isosceles right triangle. That is not a very good one, but you still get the picture. And whoops, that's not 30 root 2. Remember, the hypotenuse is going to be root 2, and then this is going to be 1 and 1. So if I go ahead and find out this leg that I labeled x, it's going to be the same as the other one. So I'm going to take 30 root 2 over root 2, and that's going to equal x over 1. So then if I cross multiply, I'm going to have 30 root 2 equals x root 2, and then I'll divide both sides by root 2, and the root 2's cancel out. So x is just going to equal 30. Now, if you recognize that from the very beginning, and what I mean very beginning is this, you can absolutely cross off the root 2's and continue to cross multiply if need be. In this case, we didn't have to. But root 2 over root 2 can be divided out no matter when you do it. If you want to just keep on going with the same process that you're doing and that makes sense to you, go ahead and do that. But if you see that it cancels out in the very beginning, go ahead and do that too, whatever makes it easier for you. Either way, you'll come out with the same answer of 30. So let's go ahead and go on to letter B. Again, I'm looking at a right triangle. It's got 2 congruent angles, so I know this is a 45, 45, 90. So this is 1, 1, root 2. Setting up for my 2 congruent sides, I'll have x over 1 equals 14 root 2 over 2. So here's what I'm talking about. I have a root 2 over root 2, so I can cancel those out right away. And then this 1 on the bottom here doesn't really make a difference. X is just going to equal 14. So each side will equal 14. Okay, letter C, moving on, we got 30, 60, 90 triangles. So I'm going to go ahead and redraw here. This is 60, this is 30. So across from the 30 is going to be the 1. Hypotenuse is 2. Third side is root 3. So if I go ahead and find out the second leg and the hypotenuse, I'm going to label that as x and y. So I'll take 4 root 3 over root 3 equals, I'm going to have to do x over 1. So again, this happens where the root 3's cancel out, and I'm just left with x equals 4. Okay, now I could go about this one of 2 ways. Since I know 2 sides of a right triangle, I can use a Pythagorean theorem to find out the third side, or I can set up just another proportion. I will always encourage you to set up another proportion because I think it just reinforces the practice that we're doing now. But if you want to do the Pythagorean theorem on a test, that's fine. Just make sure that when you square this 4 root 3 that you square the 4 and you square the root 3. So now I'm going to take this again, 4 root 3 over root 3 equals y over 2. So the root 3's are going to cancel, and I'm going to cross multiply. So here's where I do have to cross multiply. Before this 2 was a 1, and I didn't because it doesn't change anything, but now it does change something. So I've got to multiply that 4 times 2. It's going to be 8. So y is going to equal 8. All right, letter D, again, 30, 60, 90. I'm going to redraw my triangle, label my missing sides x and y. And this is 30, this is 60. So this side across from the 30-degree angle is 1. The side across from the hypotenuse is going to be 2, and the third side is root 3. All right, so from here, we're going to find x first. Doesn't really matter what we find, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'll take x over root 3 equals 12 over 2. No roots will cancel out here, so I'm going to go ahead and cross multiply. 2x equals 12 root 3, and then I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 2. So remember, numbers outside the root can simplify, so 12 divided by 2 is going to be 6 root 3. Same thing for y. I'm going to take y over 1 equals, I'm going to stick with the 12 and 2, 12 over 2. So cross multiplying, or you can just simplify. Y over 1 is just y, and then 12 over 2 is 6, so there's really no cross multiplying needed. But you could always cross multiply. You could do 2y equals 12 and then divide both sides by 2. Either way, you'll get 6. It's whatever you recognize, whatever you feel comfortable with, but y does equal 6. Okay, so again, nothing really has changed here on the level 2 so far. It's just, we're given different side links, which sometimes makes the math a little bit trickier when you're cross multiplying. Let's take a look at number 4. Determine the area of an equilateral triangle DEF. So if it's an equilateral triangle, I know that all sides are equal, and I know all angles are also equal. So that means they all equal 60 degrees. So this one's 60, this is 60, and then this whole angle is 60, but it got cut in half by this height that they drew in. So each part is going to be 30. Okay, you don't have to remember that that height cuts that angle in half. What you could have recognized is that you've got these two right triangles here, and if you know, we knew that one angle was 60 and this was a right angle, you could have figured out that that third angle was 30 degrees based on how the angle adds up to 120. So if we're trying to find, what are we trying to find? The area. So I need to know the base and the height. Okay, what we're going to highlight here is the little right triangles. Okay, so this one right here. So I need to find the base. That's also going to be the same thing as the side over there, and then I also need to find the height. So if I take this triangle out and redraw it, that helps me figure out where things go. So I need to find the base and I need to find the height. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got a 30, 60, 90. I'm going to redraw my triangle. Across in the 30 is the 1. Across in the hypotenuse is going to be 2. And then the third side is root 3. So to go ahead and find those x's and y's, let's go ahead and find x first. I'm going to take 18 over 2 equals x over 1. Realizing that I could cross multiply or I can just simplify. 18 over 2 is 9, and then x over 1 is just x. So 9 is going to equal x. So that's this bottom length here, which also translates to that bottom length of 9 here and here. And then that height, so now I just got to go ahead and find y. So y over root 3 equals, let's go 18 over 2. I tend to stick with the sides that were given to me in the beginning. That way, if I did mess something up, I don't mess up the whole entire problem. So this one I do have to cross multiply. Nothing really simplifies. So 2y equals 18 root 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and divide by 2. So these numbers on the outside are going to equal 9. So this equals 9 root 3. So this height in here is 9 root 3. So then to find the whole area of the triangle, I'm going to take 1/2, 18, because that's the whole base, times the height of 9 root 3. And I believe this one in exact form. It doesn't say, so let's go ahead and leave it in exact. So this is going to be, let's see, 1/2 times 18 times 9 is going to be 81 root 3 equals the area. Okay, so the other thing that I just noticed as I was doing the problem, obviously this is an equilateral triangle, so DF is going to be 18 anyway. So really I didn't have to find that side, I really just needed to find the height. So we ended up doing more work than we needed to, but we got the extra practice in of another triangle. So good job guys, good luck with level 2s.